Okay, finally the day is here. I've actually been waiting for this day to actually make a proper video on John Lund's 2003 or 2004, I don't know, Cobra. Now, a lot of people have been asking me a ton of questions about this car because it's being controlled with a Coyote computer. How the hell did we do that? How'd that happen? Well, Power by the Hour does a lot of swaps, especially automatic GT500 swaps. So a lot of that theory came into play because, in essence, this is an old GT500. Think about it. Locked cams, 4.6. So what changes really from this and a GT500? Not all that much, except obviously the operating system. So Jake and the guys at Power by the Hour said, you know what? I think we can control this guy with a Coyote computer. So before I get too far into the weeds on how everything, happened, let's start her up. Let's get you some video and show you under the hood real quick. So what we have here is a built 4.6 by L&M engines. It's got a set of badass ported heads, a massive set of cams that Michael Rauscher at L&M didn't really give John Lund Sr. any particular specs on. He basically said, haha, they're fucking big, so have fun tuning it. So it has an HPP kit. Not exactly sure on turbo size, but I'll let all the guys answer that. I don't want to give you particulars or anything of that sort because honestly, I don't really think it matters. Let's just get the basics out of the way. Twin turbo HPP kit with a Terminator iron block, ported, jacked, stroked, the whole 9 yards from L&M engines. Now, it's controlled with a Coyote computer, which you can see right down here. I think you can get a peek at it. Yes. There we go. So it's controlled with a Coyote computer, and I believe it's using a 13 to 14 automatic Mustang Coyote computer. Here's your MAF sensor. For a lot of you that ask, where do we want the MAF sensor? Well, we want it on a straight run, not on any curves or anything like that. So when you guys are building your own turbo kits, make sure you put your MAF sensor slot style somewhere on a straight run. Now, this car also features a 6R80. That's right. Think of it this way. You can control any engine, in my opinion, when you do when you think about it this way. As long as it's getting a spark signal or a crank trigger, the reluctor wheel I believe is in the front on these cars, similar to GT500s. As long as you can fire the coils when they need to be fired, and you have drive-by-wire, okay? This guy has a bone stock GT500 throttle body, but because it is blow through, not draw through, it's not sucking, it's blowing, it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, throttle body size. Now this car on wastegate, no extra pressure added on the dome, made 680 rear wheel horsepower with, I believe, 12 pounds on top of, I believe, the 7 or 8 pound springs equals 21 pounds. It made 1,060 horsepower just like that. Now this car does have a 4R200, aka a 6R80, with a Power by the Hour 4R200 hub. The cool thing about this car is that John Lund Sr. likes having a subdued vehicle. He doesn't like really showing out. So he has a set of Cobra wheels that have been basically made skinnies, and the rears have been widened to accept a 305/45/17 ET Street R. Very beefy tire back here. There's a lot of tire, and these little cars aren't that heavy compared to big boy like that. Now this is basically, this car is, in terms of lineage, maybe it's father or grandfather, because the Terminator kind of brought on the whole GT500 stuff, but the GT500 has gone to, in my opinion, another level because of the versatility, the power, the torque. It's just basically super refined. Power by the Hour also went ahead and built the rear end. It has a set of C-clip eliminators, a set of coilovers, sorry, there we go. It's got welded axle tubes, C-clip eliminators, a set of coilovers. It's got MagnaFlow exhaust right now, and I'm sure John Lund Sr. is going to want to change those up when he gets it back because, in my opinion, not the best sounding exhaust. Probably has to do with the cams and all that jazz. It does have a stock style fuel tank, which does have a Fore Innovations triple pump system installed, and it runs on pump E85. Yes sir. Okay, battery on. Gotta be careful I don't open this door and smash that car. There you go. This car has not been started for a couple of days, so it's nice to see that turned on. I messed around with the cold start, idle air. I did a lot of work to make sure that the cold starts weren't too high, but that it stayed running based on the big cams that it's got. So also, let's show you what else is going on inside. This car features an AMS 2000, one of the most badass boost controllers out there. It's a little on the expensive side, but it's very versatile. It has a bunch of options. It has an anti-wheelie option with GATS, which is software upgrades. You have 5 selectable modes. Basically, you can have kill mode at 1, valet mode at 2. You can have 10, 11, 12, 20, 30 psi based on where you want, you know, the power to be on the fly. It also has select shift. So because it has a 13 to 14 calibration, Power by the Hour went ahead and made it, you know, made it have select shift. I believe this is a 9904 automatic style shifter. For those of you that understand that because it's a 13-14 calibration, all we really need is PRND and then sport mode. So all we really need is just one down. So this shifter works fine for that application. But as far as I can tell, everything in the dash works. Everyone wonders, does the cluster work? Well, everything does work. Now, I believe this car also has cutouts. Okay, you hear that? Do it again. Nice and quiet. Let's get it loud. Then we have your trans brake. We have your line lock, and this activates the boost controller. When it's off, it's on regular spring pressure. When it's on, we're adding 12 pounds on top of the 8, which would be about 20 psi in its current mode. Okay, I'll let John Jr. and Senior play around with how much power they want each mode to make. But for now, let's take it for a little bit of a test drive and see how she drives. Okay, the first thing you notice when driving this car is it drives easy. It doesn't require anything special. It's in drive. It's in the boost controller is off, so it's making about 660 rear wheel horsepower right now through the auto. It feels like a Fox body. It literally feels like a Fox body. You get that little feeling of like suspension separation, almost as if it has you know, like old Lakewood slapper bars in the back. Yeah, that's cool, and that's on spring pressure. Boost controller is off, and I'm not going to go anything crazy in this area. I'm going to stay on gate or, you know, spring pressure for a little while. There's a cop next to me, so I'll drop the camera down. And once I wash it and traffic dies down, because I'm in the middle of bumper to bumper rush hour traffic, as you can see, West Palm Beach gets a little busy, and I'm on Okeechobee Boulevard, so I'm going to head to my favorite car wash in Royal Palm Beach, wash the car, and by that time things die down a little bit, and I'll take the back way home, and I'll be able to open up the cutouts, maybe make a hit on the 1,000 horsepower setting. If not, I'll open up the laptop, connect to the boost controller, put about 5 pounds on top of the 8, so it'll be 13, and that should be 800 or so rear wheel horsepower, 850, and then it should be more manageable, but we'll see. Thing actually cruises pretty good at 65, 70 mile an hour. Okay, now that maybe traffic died down a little bit, I'll drive it the back way home with the cutouts open this time. Let me see if they open up, and I'll turn them on with them open. I think. We'll see. Too close to the end of the cutouts, and it's probably best used for just racing. I wouldn't really run the cutouts around the street because it drives a lot better with the cutouts closed. I think it's up. Up closes them. No, up opens them. Running over palm tree leaves. Yeah, but it drives a lot better with it closed. Cutouts open. It's a little drony, but you get to hear cool turbo sounds. If you like that sort of thing. Notice how it takes a while for boost to come on. Little inside joke with the guys, telling them how turbo lag is a thing with these cars. Just on spring pressure without any additional boost. I'm gonna look at the boost controller and lower boost because on 8 pounds it's pretty rowdy. This thing doesn't have traction control or advanced track. The last thing I want to do is put the boss's car in a ditch. So I'm gonna get it home, settle, let traffic die down, come back out a little bit later, dial down the boost on the boost controller, maybe command at most 5 more PSI so that it's a total of 13 or so, and that should be 900 wheel. Do a wide open throttle pull, see how it feels then. But on spring pressure, this thing's pretty rowdy for what it is. It's a very light car. I've been driving it. I literally drove it 30 miles. I went on Okeechobee Boulevard, washed it, drove it on the back roads of the Acreage and Royal Palm, and it has great street, insanely good street manners. Automatic swap Cobra with over 1,000 rear wheel horsepower, driving super good. John Sr. is going to definitely love this car, especially where he lives, where it's very hilly and you can get into boost going up a hill, whereas here it's pretty flat, so you really got to get into it to get into boost, and it responds nicely. The nice thing about down here is you have the open road to do it. Up there you might have a little trouble, so let me get it home, dial back the boost control a little bit, take it back out, wrap up the video, should be good to go. Okay, I think I found the area here. So see right here, I have this guy about 12 PSI. So I'm gonna try to drop this guy to just at about 5. So you see this little guy that says PSI at the bottom right there, PSI. I'm gonna drop it till it says about 5. Boom. All the way across the board. 5, okay. And then I think I do a send to load tune-up to AMS. Okay, let me see if that works. Saving tune-up, boop, 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 boop. Beautiful. Okay, I think we got it. So let me make sure that when I go to live data, if there's a way of a target, but maybe not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle the gear position, even though I shouldn't. It says it's in 1, but let me toggle it. No, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so to finish the video, I'm going to make a very short wide open throttle pull because I'm not going to do anything stupid and do a 140 plus mile an hour. Now I did drive the car all the way to Tijuana. I mean, it kind of looks like Florida a little bit, but it's tropical. So what I'm going to do is boost controller off, lay into it, and you know, just you'll hear the run up. You're not gonna see your see our mile an hour or anything like that. You're just gonna hear how the motor runs up. Okay, and then I'm gonna just turn the boost controller on, which is about 5 psi on top of the gate, 13 psi, and you'll be able to hear the difference in run up with the boost controller actually working. So I'm gonna find a little spot, not gonna go too fast, and see how it goes. Let me see if I can find a little spot up here. Yeah, there's some spots. Oh, why aren't you wearing your seatbelt? Because it's a harness. That's why. Okay. Slow down. Okay. So I'm gonna stab it. It should be in first. So let me just stab it. Okay, that was like a 1-2. It was a you know, it was pretty badass. So now I'm gonna turn the boost controller on, and it'll be like a 2-3, but you'll hear the run up be a lot more aggressive. So I'm gonna really concentrate on keeping the car straight. Actually, it'll be a 1-2 again. It'll be like 20 mile an hour. So you'll hear it this time. Here we go. Jesus Christ! Oh, boxy hat back there. So with the boost controller on, it is a stark difference as to how the boost comes in. I didn't stab the throttle quick enough to be able to get you a 1-2, but that was a good thing because I feel it would have just blazed the tires. It would have been kind of a useless pull, honestly. I'm going to keep the boost controller on though as I head back home. It's a long ride back to Tijuana, and I'll just give it a quick couple stabs and be done with it. I just want you guys to hear the turbo whooshes. Let me open the cutouts and finish the video. My God, everyone's gonna hear this freaking thing. Jesus. Way too loud. Let's end the video there before I get arrested. Let me get this thing home. So there you have it. Made it all the way back home from Tijuana, Mexico. It is way too loud to be driving on the street with the cutouts open. Everyone and their mom will notice that you have about 1,000 horse ready to let loose, and I'm not a fan of you know, being seen or heard. So there you have it, a 6R80 equipped Cobra, driven 40 or 50 miles today, made a couple of wide open throttle pulls at about 900 rear wheel horsepower, and it'll be coming to Pennsylvania very soon, so be on the lookout. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later.